Hello and welcome to my latest career video. So, as I confirmed last night due to someone asking, here is the career video for the Black Panther, Harry Wills. Okay, had just over 100 fights, was a very dangerous heavyweight in his time. Interestingly, I saw someone leave a post recently that Harry Wills would have knocked out Bob Fitzsimmons fairly easily. Yet a fighter who gave Harry Wills some torrid fights, Sam McVeigh, couldn't even beat Johnny Paycheck. Oh, I love it. So, let us go through the main career of Harry Wills' major opponents. Okay, so Harry Wills has a 3-fight series with Joe Jeanette, okay, scoring 1 win and 2 draws. He then has a 17-fight series with Sam Langford, scoring 14 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw. 17-fight series. The early fights, Langford was leaving his prime. The later fights, Langford was out of his prime. Just interestingly, Langford was 2-1 in the first fights as he left his prime. Wills took over, as I would expect a Hall of Fame heavyweight to do. So next up is the aforementioned Sam McVeigh. Harry Wills fought him 5 times, scoring 3 wins, suffering 2 defeats. Wills also 6 times fought former coloured heavyweight champion, albeit briefly, Big Bill Tate, scoring 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw from those 6 fights. And Sam McVeigh also knocked out Denver Ed Martin. He also, Harry Wills knocked out Denver Ed Martin. He also beat Kid Norfolk in a singular fight, and then he lost, of course, later in his career to Jack Sharkey. Recent and totally undeserved Hall of Famer to me, Luis Angel Firpo, was also beaten by Harry Wills, and Harry Wills also defeated contender Charlie Weiner, a former top 3 rated contender. So next up is the Spanish heavyweight Paulino Euskadun. He again defeated Harry Wills later on. Harry Wills also had 8 fights against the guts of Joplin Jeff Clark, scoring 7 wins, no loss, 1 draw. My throat's a bit dry. Moisten it a bit so I can talk. So next up is Willie Meehan. I've still not found that fabled featherweight fight, because a lot of people don't know. I sent someone information. Harry Wills used to weigh about 106 pounds, and he was a jockey. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. He was a jockey. He was a horse rider, Harry Wills. Weighed just over 100 pounds. Now, as he matured and grew, he became a Hall of Fame heavyweight later on. But there is a fabled fight he had against Willie Meehan, because Willie Meehan came from bantamweight region and fought all the way up to heavyweight. Okay, now when Willie Meehan was down there, Harry Wills on his way up fought Willie Meehan in a featherweight fight that was a draw, okay, on points. Now, I've never managed to find the articles that will confirm that fight, so I can't consider it on his record, but I will keep searching. But I've heard a whole number of different writers from the time talking about Harry Wills, commenting, oh yes, he did draw with Willie Meehan. I just haven't been able to find it yet, but I will keep looking. So anyway, next up is puncher Mexican Pete Everett. Sadly, he met a guy who was a more dangerous puncher than he was, and he 3 times fought battling Jim Johnson, scoring 2 wins, 1 loss, no draw. Harry Wills also 8 times fought Jack Thompson, scoring 7 wins, no loss, 1 draw. So that is the first slide for the Black Panther. Okay, going on to slide 2, we see he destroyed Fred Fulton when he stepped back and fired that brutal shot. The said Fulton's shoulders hit the deck before his backside did. Wills took him out. He was very good at being inside, stepping back and firing big uppercuts or big booming right hands, and he could do a lot of damage with them. Next up, Gunboat Smith, okay, was also beaten by Harry Wills, as was former heavyweight contender Tut Jackson in singular fights. So there are 61 fights highlighted there. Harry Wills has won 47 of those with 8 losses and 6 draws. Now next up, okay, Wills scored 56 knockouts in his career. He scored 32 knockouts in 3 rounds or less. Wills also scored 15 first round wins. Now he scored 7 KOs against champions, 4 KOs against Hall of Famers, and 3 KOs against pound for pounders. Now Wills did fight into the rating era, but only a small portion of his career, so in reduced numbers he has 2 KOs against rated fighters. Now, looking at his rounds boxed overall, Wills fought 711 career rounds. He fought nearly nearly 300 title fight rounds with a total of 291, and Wills fought large totals of 343 rounds against champions, 313 rounds against Hall of Famers, and 286 rounds against pound for pound fighters. Now against rated fighters, obviously very reduced numbers. Langford would have been a rated fighter, so would Jeanette McVeigh, so would Gumbo, so would many of them who were never rated, so Wills' numbers would have been massively higher. But he has 33 top 10 rounds, 21 top 3 rounds, and 13 rounds against ring champions. So going on to his slide against champions, Harry Wills also had over 30 fights against champions with a total of 34. He has a record of 24 wins, 6 losses, 4 draws, and he defeated 6 individual champions. They were Joe Jeanette, Sam Langford, Sam McVeigh, Bill Tate, Denver Ed Martin, who he dropped 6 times in less than a round in a brutal fashion, and Kid Norfolk, who was knocked out by a shot many at ringsiders didn't even see. Again, Wills showing that ability to get leverage and power close up to knock someone out with a single shot. Now, in terms of champions knocked out from those 6, Harry Wills stopped 5 of them. During his career, he scored stoppage wins over Sam Langford, Sam McVeigh, Bill Tate, Denver Ed Martin, and Kid Norfolk. So that is Wills' slide against champions. Against Hall of Famers, he actually has one of the higher tallies in Hall of Fame wins, courtesy a lot of the part due to his large number of wins against Sam Langford. But Harry Wills had 28 fights against Hall of Famers with a record of 20 wins with 5 losses and 3 draws. He defeated 5 Hall of Fame fighters. They were Joe Jeanette, Sam Langford, Sam McVeigh, Kid Norfolk, and Luis Angel Firpo, who, again, for the second time on video, make clear shouldn't even be anywhere near the Hall of Fame. I remember asking a few people online, why has he got in? They said, he got knocked down 9 times against Dempsey. I'm like, wow, so getting battered and beat up gets you in the Hall of Fame. I mean, yeah, he did score a flash knockdown, knocking Dempsey to his knee, then he knocked him out of the ring. But other than that, Firpo was demolished. But everyone just say, oh, he got beat by Dempsey in 2 rounds, knocked down 9 times. I'm like, you should be voting people in all for that. Vote him in all for being a 3-time undisputed champion, or vote him in all for beating a pile of Hall of Famers, or for being one of the dominant fighters in your time. Don't vote him in all because he fought a great heavyweight and got knocked down 9 times. So, you know, if a heavyweight contender like Lem Franklin would have fought a Hall of Fame heavyweight and got knocked down 9 times but managed to drop him to his knees, would you put Lem Franklin in Hall of Fame? I mean... Oh dear. So from those 5 Hall of Famers beaten, Wills has scored knockout or stoppage over 3 of them: Kid Norfolk, Sam Langford, and Sam McVeigh. So going on to the pound for pound slide, Wills has 25 fights against pound for pounders with a record of 18 wins, 4 loss and 3 draw. He defeated 3 pound for pounders: Joe Jeanette, Sam Langford, and Sam McVeigh, and he scored knockout or stoppage over 2 of them. Obviously he didn't score a knockout or stoppage over the Iron Man himself, Joe Jeanette, even though Langford and McVeigh were also not easy to knock out, but he did score stoppage over Langford and McVeigh, so he stopped 2 of the 3 pound for pounders he beat. So Wills going on to rated opponents. It always pains me every time I see a great fighter and see we don't have rating information for them, but I can only go on what is factual. So Harry Wills has 5 fights in reduced numbers against top 10 fighters, including 3 wins, 2 losses, no draws. He had 4 fights against top 3 rated fighters with 2 wins, 2 losses, no draw, and he has 1 fight against a ring champion. That was a defeat. So Wills, again in reduced numbers, defeated 3 individual rated fighters and scored knockouts over 2 rated fighters from the 3. So going on to title fight numbers, Harry Wills has some big title fight numbers, okay? 3-time coloured heavyweight champion, masses of defences from like mid-1917 to 1921. Wills was in a prime where he was pretty much a demolition machine. In one of the Jeff Clark fights, Jeff Clark after the fight received incredible praise for going the full distance because Wills were in devastating form, and Jeff Clark had to use every bit of speed, movement and defence to survive. And after the fight, Wills were in such good form that they were amazed Jeff Clark had managed to survive, but it shows how good of a survivor Jeff Clark was, especially against in-form prime Harry Wills. So Wills had 36 title fights in total. He scored 30 wins with 3 losses and 3 draws. He made 25 title defences from his 3 reigns, and Harry Wills scored 15 title fight knockouts. Now obviously against rated fighters he scored no wins against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters or ring champions. Again, those numbers would have been staggering had ratings been around. He did score 17 wins against champions in title fights, 15 wins against Hall of Famers in title fights, and likewise 15 wins against pound-for-pounders in title fights. So Harry Wills going on to titles won. Okay, he was a former coloured heavyweight title holder. He held that title 3 times. He's not listed as a lineal champion, even though I've long argued and debated whether the coloured title should be considered a lineal coloured title and an undisputed coloured title, but that's a discussion for another time. I've been haggling with that in my mind for years, but you know, with lineal lines I have to go on the established lineal line. I can't chop and change it because I want to. So he also was never undisputed champion in the established title line. I'll say that's a better way of saying it. So there is the Black Panther. Okay, just over 100 fights. We had 89 wins, over 50 knockouts. During his prime, he was a formidable machine. Nearly 6'4", 80+ inch reach. You know, just a destructive fighter who actually was a good mover. He was actually a good mover. He could be very rangy. Harry Wills, moving and throwing long, raking shots. Also, he was very good at fighting on the inside, stepping back, using his frame to gain space to punch on inside, as Fred Fulton and as Kid Norfolk, as well as many others, found out to their detriment. So Wills was a very versatile heavyweight for his time. So he will join my heavyweight playlist. Okay, more videos coming over coming days, weeks, months and years as I grind through my giant project of repopulating all my career playlists. This year for certain the career playlists are going to grow by a huge amount. But I will leave you there with Harry Wills. Okay, I'm the Boxing Librarian. I'm out for now.